Hello and welcome to the All Signs reading. Thank you so much for coming in and joining in. I'm going to just go through all the signs, Aries up until Pisces, 12 signs, Western astrology. And we're just going to jump right into it, guys. So, I ask you to take a deep breath and tell me exactly, if you think it resonates for each of the signs. Look at your sun, moon, rising, north node. And if you have any significant placements, anything in like a 0 degrees or close to 0, 1, 29 degrees would also be probably pretty significant because those are critical. All right, Aries. What is the message for Aries? We have the Ace of Wands, and Seven of Swords. Aries, it seems like you came from something, a new beginning. You probably just started, putting your energy all into something brand new, something that probably has a lot to do with who you know, what you know, and how you can express that with those people around you. Because when I look at this card, I see somebody who's looking back and reminding themselves that, like, maybe things were a lot worse. Like, but you look and you see people are, like, in the distance in that Seven of Swords card. They're like kind of like all together, huddled together, but this guy's alone. He's finding his own way, and he's taking those swords and he's putting all those thoughts into action. But he also left 2 of them, so I think it's also like a realization that you are moving forward with certain relationships, and some of them you're going to let go of them, but the new beginnings you're moving towards too are also something that might be something to really consider. Who is really coming with you and who is staying. And that's your message, Aries. Thank you so much. Now let's move on to the message for Taurus. Taurus, sun, moon, rising, Venus. If you want to look at your Venus, I know Taurus rules Venus. Any critical signs, anything that you, feel like you resonate with, go ahead and check that out. Message for Taurus. We have the 8 of Wands and the Page of Swords. Ooh. Page of Swords, guys. You are definitely coming into something. It seems like everybody always says Taurus rules money. 8 numerology is money, things that are hidden, things that you discover, things that you're fighting for. I see the Page of Swords as somebody who is really getting that mindset of money. People always say you should have, your mind right before you sign something. Like, one of the things that makes a contract binding is the fact that everybody is, of sound mind. No one is under duress. No one's being forced to do it. And I think the universe is saying that you're moving away from, I guess, a past of people looking at you as if you don't know what you're thinking, like your head isn't right, basically. People would say, your head in the game is your head in the game. And I think you definitely have your head in the game on how to get the most out of the things that used to be roadblocks, used to stop you from manifesting the results that you needed to move forward. And that's your message, Taurus. Thank you so much. Now we're going into the message for Gemini. Gemini, sun, moon, rising, north node. I would check your Mercury because Gemini rules Mercury. Or Mercury rules Gemini. I'm sorry, guys. It's early for me. Gemini, you have the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. Oh my gosh. So matchy match. 9 is pretty much like Sagittarius energy, the opposite of Gemini. So if we look at that as something, I would say you definitely could be a lot in your opposite energy, your shadow side. But I think you're actually like benefiting from or learning, let's just say learning from your shadow side. You're learning from how you're communicating that, like, in order to be looked at from society, I guess, as somebody who is worthy, I guess, and from a status point of view, because Gemini is also just like the personal houses, and Gemini, Sagittarius, the opposite, is like your public. Like, that's once you're in the social sign, so you might be in a state where I guess your thoughts and your energy has been really into learning how to balance yourself. And I'd say you're very balanced at this time. Keep learning from it. Don't try and overcompensate, though. Watch out for that. Not to sound too preachy, because some people get criticized for being too preachy and teachy. But I think as long as you just keep going on a good path and think about it from the perspective of somebody who's listening, you'll be fine. This is the message for Cancer now. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. If you have any placements that are like 0 degrees or anything like that, take a look at those as well. They're probably pretty significant. They have been in my life. So let's go into the Cancer reading. The first card we have for Cancer is the Seven of Cups. Cups are kind of like the emotional thing, and Cancers are known for being a little bit more into their feelings compared to their thoughts. So I would say that when it comes to relationships, I would say you're probably getting a lot of credit. People are probably complimenting you, or they should be. Maybe they're keeping it to themselves, but I see somebody who's looking back and seeing that all the relationships are good. And sometimes you could be working really hard on something and realize, like, I'm not seeing the money I expect to see, but everybody's telling me I'm doing a great job. So am I on the right path? I would say always trust your relationships over your bank account, because word of mouth can be worth way more than a bank account number. If people are saying great things about you, you never know where that could bring you in the future. And then the other card for Cancer is the Sun card. So we have somebody who's really embracing their child like wonders, and they're excited about life, and they should be, because all the relationships, when people see that you're having fun and you have a great attitude and you're positive, and they want to be around you because they like how they feel, not necessarily remember what you said, but they like how you made them feel, you just have more and more. And that's kind of the greatest thing about life, is that love can't buy money, but love can buy money. Money can't buy love. And so I think you're definitely doing that. You're using your love, and you're getting all the things that you should be getting out of, as long as you're in that good, happy state. Now let's go into the reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo signs. Look at your critical 0 degrees, 29 degrees, 1 degree placements, guys. And let me know if it resonates. Leo, what message do we have for you? Ooh. Okay. So we have... I don't know how I keep pulling all these cards that are the same number. I swear I shuffled. But we have the 8 of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. So Leo, this is your season. Or maybe you've been thinking a lot about money and really putting, I guess, kind of going blind, like not going blind, but like diving in and just trying and testing the waters. Maybe it could be for anything. It could be for real estate. Like maybe you started looking on Zillow and you talked to one real estate agent, or you're trying to figure out how to start a business, but you've only talked to one person, and you just have this idea of how you're going to talk to all the other people, and you're putting it down, but you haven't really gotten to that stage where everybody's seeing what you're doing yet. But you're definitely like, you have soul. You're like, you're really in it. And with the Eight of Pentacles, I'm saying you're on a good track. You don't need to really worry as long as you can stand waiting. That's what I'm saying. Just be patient. You're definitely gonna see a good result for yourself by the time you're done, if you put steady work into doing it right, and then also asking people when you need help to help you out. Now we're doing a reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising. I look at your Mercury, as well as any critical placements, 0 degrees, 1 degree, 29. All right, Virgo, what do we have for you? Queen of Cups and the Magician. Oh my gosh, it's about to be your season, so maybe some dreams are about to come true, but I think you're definitely like, oh my gosh, I know everything I've done to this point has been tough. My mentality is shifted. This woman looks intent on getting results. She's like, I know what I want, I'm doing it. And Virgo, I think you definitely are realizing that you can hold on. And maybe you have been like putting off things because you really want to see a certain result. Maybe you're putting off, hanging out with friends, or addressing a desire to have, more time with your kids, or more time to even start having kids. But I think you're definitely manifesting some type of financial result that's going to take you to the next level, to the point that once you've done this, you can repeat it. I would say there's a book called Atomic Habits, and it's all about how like you should be creating systems in your life. And I think you've manifested the emotional systems you should be creating by getting started. And then the Magician card is telling me that you are going to be one of probably the first people to be seen doing it a certain way, but you also might be somebody who's doing it just a little bit better than everyone, and people are going to be impressed because they've been watching you, and they've kind of probably seen that you're mentally changing. But once they see the stuff the universe has for you, they're going to be like, whoa, wow. So yeah, great things happening for you. Thank you. Now let's talk about Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node. I would also look at your Venus and any critical signs, anything 0 degrees, 1 degrees, or 29 degrees in your chart. Libra, King of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. I see somebody who feels like the war is over. Basically, we have like somebody who's looking at 9 cups, and these 9 cups, 9 represents like a teaching Jupiterian energy. You've probably been expanding really hard on certain thoughts, and maybe you've been going to war with thoughts. Like you've been at war with your mind, war at balancing, the negative and the positive, the good and the bad, pros and the cons. You've probably been stretched to your limits. I know a lot of people are experiencing tough times in this life. In Libra, you're not definitely like somebody who's ever gonna be looked at as a victim unless you're made to feel like a victim, because then you'll have that feeling and that people will see that feeling around your aura. But I think you're looking really strong right now, and everyone's probably really like, wow. They probably think you're doing better than you're doing. But I'm telling you, you have 9 cups. You're really close to 10. Once you have those 10 cups, you'll have overcome the emotions that keep pushing you back to the negative thoughts. But you know, I think your mentality is right. You're definitely going to get the results you want, and people are going to be impressed. Scorpio, sun, moon, rising. I would also look at your Pluto and any critical signs, 0 degrees, 1 degree, 29 degrees. Scorpio, what message do we have for you? We have the Queen of Pentacles and the 2 of Wands. I see somebody who, well, with the 8, which is the number that represents Scorpio, it's infinity, and that's also the opposite side of Taurus, which is money. And 2 is, you know, the opposite of 8 on a numerology standpoint when you think about the signs. And we have these 2. It tells me that you have been working on your shadow. You are somebody who has come to a point where maybe money is like the idea of manifesting physical things, not just money, but physical things, is getting more comfortable. It's so easy now. Like maybe it's like it's coming naturally in some way. And so you just have to say the word, but you're also somebody who's maybe a little bit lonely. And so you're kind of thinking about, how can I bring other people into this? Or how can I not have to be the only one putting energy into this? And I think that's what you're going to be working on. And people are seeing that you look really comfortable doing it on your own too. Like you just look so confident. You're like, maybe don't feel like you need the help. But I think if you want to be able to stay at the same pace, it might be a good idea to kind of build a group, maybe make a friend or 2 and add them to your group and join some meetings that maybe you'll just have the opportunity to talk to somebody who knows a little bit about something that you've talked about before, and get that friend and just see where things go. Now let's go over Sagittarius. Sagittarius, sun, moon, rising. I'll look at your Jupiter and 0 degree, 1 degree placements, 29 degree placements. Sagittarius, your message is 4 of Cups and the Hierophant. The Hierophant can mean a variety of things for some people. I say the Hierophant is somebody who's looked at by the public, and it also has the number 5 above it. So I feel like you're somebody who's definitely in their Leo energy, but you're also somebody who's having to exercise the emotional side of things. Maybe at one point you were coming across too rough or rugged, and you know you've had to slow down, think about it from an emotional perspective. Maybe you're coming to a decision, and one of the options you have is to pick the option that exercise a little bit more comfort or care or sensitivity to the people that are going to be affected by your decision or your choices. And so I'm asking you to reimagine yourself maybe in their shoes, because also when we look at the position of this person. Yes, maybe you're on a pedestal in your life and you are trying to keep an image, but when you're by yourself, are you emotionally fulfilled? Are you as emotionally fulfilled as you portray people should be in the public eye? And yeah, that's it. Capricorn, this is your message. Sun, Moon, Rising. I look at your 0 degree, 1 degree, 29 degree placement, and maybe even your Saturn placement too. So, Capricorn, 2 of Swords, King of Cups. I'd say you have a little bit longer to go. With the 2 of Swords, you are somebody who is trying to pick between 2 things, or maybe more than 2 things, but everything can very much boil down to 2 things, yin and yang, that kind of vibe. But with the King of Cups, cups usually represent emotions, and Capricorns are kind of known for being more strict and more logical than their Cancer counterpart, which is their opposite shadow side. So I think as the King of Cups, you are overcoming your shadow side. There's a lot of water in both of these cups. I'd say you've been drowning in emotions, maybe. In the background, this has been a background thing for you. No one's been seeing it. You're actually drowning. The person looks very calm in both cards, and I would say that you're looking really confident. But some people can tell you just definitely have a little bit way to go for your thoughts. Yes, you're feeling right, but your thoughts and your actions maybe aren't there yet in order to really get you to where you need to go and get what you want out of the situation. If it comes down to it, just remember that you have come far, and yeah, you're gonna have feelings. It's okay to have feelings. Feelings make you look good, and sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about how you make somebody feel. So really consider those things as you go through your choices of words and actions and decisions that may seem insignificant right now, but really will affect the course of your life. No pressure though. This is the message for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node. Check any degrees. If you have a 0, 1, or 29 degree placement for Aquarius, consider that house as well. It's where something might be happening of significance for you. What's the message for Aquarius? We have Knight of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. So 5, the opposite of 5 from an astrological point is 5 is Leo. Leo is the 5th house, and I feel like there's a lot of energy that you're kind of wanting to really manifest for your life, especially for other people to see and to be seen. You have Pentacles for your Knight of Pentacles, and that's telling me basically that you have almost everything you need in order to manifest the physical things that you're trying to attract in life, whether that's a relationship or if it's success, however you see it. When I see somebody looking at their 5th house, they're usually somebody who's reached a certain status as well, and I think you're looking back and wondering, I guess, is this where I really want to be? And you might be wrestling with the idea of has all this been worth it? I've been having to interact with these people. Do I even like the people I'm interacting with? Would I like for this to continue, basically? Do I want to be seen on this level? Do I want to really appreciate where I am and keep getting, I guess, recognition for this? Or do I want to switch and turn back and try something new? So that's your message, Aquarius. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. Pisces, let's look at your Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, 1 degree, 29 degree placements, Pisces. What is the message for you? Judgment. And 5 of Cups. I hate to say this, oh my god, but when I see the Judgment card, some people think about it as like, oh my god, it's not a good card, but sometimes you could be the one doing the judging, or somebody will be over judging you. You could be looking at how things have gone in the past, and maybe you just are learning a lesson from what you don't want because you saw the results initially. This could be what you don't want in a group setting where you felt like things should have gone better because you felt emotionally overdrawn, or you felt emotionally uncomfortable, or just something wasn't fulfilled enough, you know, like, because you see this person, they're not holding any of their cups. They're just letting them be on the ground. They're looking at them. They're like, oh my God, I put all this energy into some of them and they're knocked down. And there's 2 still standing, but you are also the one that's still standing too. Like, this guy's not sitting down. So technically, yes, you're on stage. People are looking at you as if you should be feeling some type of way. But if they're exercising their judgment on you, you know that they would judge anybody in your position. And they're just watching. So you don't need their sympathy. Yeah. You just don't need them. And that's okay. But you have yourself, and whoever decides to judge you, that's just their decision. Yeah, they got to witness a real one, for reals. And lastly, this is the message for collective. What does the universe want collective to know? All signs. Page of Cups. The Chariot. Ooh. So I see somebody, a lot of us, we've been looking like rookies, basically. That's what I would say. People have been judging us for having the answers to everything, or having the answer too quickly, or answering a certain way that, oh my gosh, you know, like sometimes I'll be at work and I'll hear people say stuff, and then, you know, the public from my industry, they know certain things, and then there's stuff that the industry knows, you know, and sometimes you'll, as a new person to any industry, or anytime you answer a question, you might just assume that the right answer would be to tell everybody everything at one point. But sometimes being overwhelmed with all that emotional stuff and trying to jump to like over information can kill the interaction and make somebody ghost you, no matter what you sell or what industry you do. So I'd say everybody is slowly entering a space where we're being more comfortable sharing how we feel with others. And we have faith that, whatever your definition of faith is, but we have faith that we're balancing every part of ourselves. And it looks like the future is going to be really bright for you guys. As long as you're able to really balance all sides. Because when I look at the Chariot card, you know, I see all the different parts. I see earth, you see, you know, water, and you don't really see air as much, or fire. But I think when you see earth and water, those 2 signs on their own are just like opposites coming together in a balancing way, because it feeds people, you know, the earth and the water sustain us. And I see a lot of people being sustained because of their understanding of who they are and what their role is in the universe.